Hi everybody, this is Delmar here and I hope you're doing well today. Last year I did an update video showcasing my latest new additions in my Thomas & Friends wood collection. And near the end of the video I showcased two destinations. One was Hell's Helipad and then the other was the Sodor Search and Rescue Firehouse. I didn't really talk about this destination as much in the video as I wanted to save a special one dedicated to talk about this more. It's a location that not a whole lot of people really talk about and I feel like it deserves its own special video. Sorry that it took a whole year to get to this point, but you know, details. The Search and Rescue Firehouse building was available from 2019 up until the end of the Thomas & Friends wood lifespan in 2021. The packaging was fairly unique for this item as it was in this green packaging, whereas compared to the other destinations and other packaging, it's usually in shades of blue. Why was it in a green box in particular? The only reason I could think of was it was a tie-in promotion with the Forest Stewardship Council, an organization that helps specialize in trees and trying to use clean wood for their products or something like that. And I believe, I may be wrong about this, but since Mattel bought the Thomas & Friends license in 2013, they started using FSC official wood, and it's definitely more promoted in the Thomas & Friends wood range compared to the original Wooden Railway. So any wood like this is sourced from the FSC, I think. I don't know much about this place, but it's sort of weird that they made a firehouse of all things to be promoting the FSC, even though the only wood parts in this destination are the walls here, along with the pillars. I mean, that's classic Thomas wood, right? It's Thomas & Friends wood, but 90% of it is plastic. And here's all the pieces that come with the Search and Rescue Firehouse. Now I got this used off eBay, so I was missing a few pieces, like I didn't have the ascending piece of track or the Wooden Railway adapters here that's included in almost every single destination and set. But those were the only pieces missing, but everything else that's exclusive to the Firehouse was all with it. And for $30, that was a really good deal because again, this was a very hard to find destination and I couldn't find it. It's much like what I had with the Thomas Wood Castle Tower set. I couldn't find anywhere to purchase it, and luckily I found it on eBay literally about a month before Christmas, I believe, and I got it for $30, which is good. And you get a lot of interesting pieces, like obviously you get these, but you know, those are common. And ascending piece track, it only came with one, which, you know, that's not a big deal. But let's go over the individual pieces and the destination overall. For example, we got a figure of a fire chief, and I am christening his name as Fireman Murray. Why? Because he yucks like a Murray. I mean, look at him. He yucks like a Murray, in my opinion. He also has a trusty sidekick, this little Dalmatian here. We also have this yellow buffer here, which is a little bit odd. This is the only buffer piece that I know of in the Thomas Wood range, and it's very odd. I mean, it's sturdy, but it looks like something that is made or would have been released in Trackmastered in the motorized range, and it feels very out of place. Now, granted, I know in the new upcoming release of the new revamped Thomas Wooden Railway, there's going to be like plastic buffers for the look of it, but this feels so out of place. But then again, that kind of matches with the whole theme of this set, but I'll get to my final thoughts in a little while. This set also comes with a little plastic slide where Fireman Murray can slide on down, and it's pretty fun and it attaches very easily to the firehouse here. We also have a fire truck included. Now this isn't exactly, well, when I first saw this, it didn't look nothing like a fire truck. It looked so odd. Like, I mean, obviously this is like the front of the fire truck and this is the back, but it just looks so weird, and having the middle section cut off makes it look very awkward. I mean, granted, he fits snugly in the fire truck, but it doesn't look like one. It's a far cry from what we got back in the early 2000s. One piece that's pretty interesting is this little fire log here. Pretty much like if you want to create a story where, just say there's a cart of hay on a troublesome truck, and it catches on fire, you can replace the pot of hay with this, and voila, you got a fire on top of a freight car. And you know, it's interesting. I actually thought this lit up because I saw the screw and I was like, oh, do you press on it to light up? But no, the fire is a clear plastic piece, and it's actually 3 pieces. You take this off, and the bottom's a piece, this whole brown thing is a plastic piece, and then there's like a whole plastic piece, and then it's definitely an odd little piece of cargo, but I do like the idea of like having your own piece of cargo that actually can light a truck on fire, and I think that inspires some stories right there. As for the main house itself, like the main firehouse, it has some good details like on the side, and I like how it's 2-story, where on top you have like a little place where you could park your fire truck at, and then another is a plastic switch point piece that an engine could put onto. I mean, you can use either way, like you could have both be for the engine to go through, or have one be for road vehicles and such. And personally, I recommend that if you're going to do that, make this part where you could put the fire truck in, so that way he can, you know, escape out, and that's pretty much like the shed for the firehouse. There is a crossing on the back of the building where you can move this up and down, but in reality I would just stick to this being like so and don't have any tracks here, and also put like a buffer right here. And the reason I say that is because if you try to fit an engine underneath the firehouse, it won't fit. It doesn't matter if you use curves or not, an engine will not go through under the ascending piece, which I think limits the playability of this set quite a bit. And it's definitely weird, like, if they would have just, you know, made this whole, like, made this back part here, oh crap, that was flew off, like, made this a wall for the firehouse to go in, you know, that would be fine, but there's a clear plastic piece where you could just latch an ascending piece in, and it just looks so weird. I mean, I think that's why the buffer is here, so that way you can like have it to where a fire truck, or it could like go behind here, but again, it feels awkward, and the fact that you can't fit an engine underneath the ascending pieces, it just feels like there's limited opportunity for an engine to work on in this, so that's definitely a big factor here. Also, there's one piece on here that I find so bizarre in reality. Like, on the back side here, you'll notice there's this water hose that kind of conveniently hooks on to where there's a little plastic indication where it goes that you can, like, you know, refill the fire truck up, and that's cool, but it just feels weird. And the string, oh, okay, yeah, the string isn't that good. I actually tied this earlier because it came loose when I was cleaning my bedroom, so it came loose, and yeah, it's not sturdy, and it's definitely, like, if I had the option, I would have just got rid of that, and because I keep forgetting that's even there, and it just feels annoying really to have that on that statue there. So what are my overall thoughts on the Search and Rescue Center Firehouse set? Well, it's definitely a far cry from what was released back in 2013. Now granted, I don't have this destination because I didn't really collect wooden railway items anymore back in that time frame, but there was a similar location to this released back in 2013 where it had a 2-story track layout, and it had like a shed, a place, a water hose where you can refill the fire truck. And so the 2019 Thomas & Friends Wood version of the firehouse has a lot of similarities to the Search and Rescue Center released back in 2013. So there's definitely going to be a lot of comparisons and stuff that's been done better. And while the firehouse, I kind of like this a little bit because, you know, it was unique. It took a long while for me to get this. But in terms of playability, there's some things that kind of irks me. Like, I love the fact that we have, you know, a fire chief figure. We have a Dalmatian. We have a little fire cargo piece that you could put in a troublesome truck. And that's great. That could provide some fun stories. So I like that. And the slide, you know, it's cute to send a little figure down to slide it down in. But in terms of the overall playability of this, the fact that an engine can't go underneath the bottom story and it gets stuck by the ascending pieces of track, it just feels like that's wasted playability. Like, granted, yes, you get only one piece of ascending track, so obviously they had the option to where if they had an engine want to go underneath this way, keep the ascending piece here, don't put any here. But if you want to have two ascending pieces of tracks on both ends, an engine just can't go through that. It just can't. There's no space. Also, the fire truck is just molded differently. In fact, the only wood part is just this back cap. This is all plastic, and it just doesn't look like a fire truck. It just looks awkward, and I wish they would have designed it a little bit better to where it looks more, or better yet, instead of just having this fire truck, give us an already existing fire truck. Like, why not bundle Flynn in with the Firehouse set? I mean, it's a firehouse, so why not include Flynn in it? Even if it's like a special variant, actually that would have been better. Yet it'd be like a fiery Flynn variant of him, and that would definitely be a major win for people. That was like, if they didn't like the fire truck, then having a special variant of Flynn included would have made this amazing. I think it would have added some great value to it. Sure, you can't put the fire chief on him, but you have a special figure that can interact with Flynn, so that probably would have been better. Also, the fire hose is just kind of pointless and just seems kind of weird, and I mean, I'm glad we got a somewhat buffer piece, but it's very awkward and it just doesn't feel Thomas Wooden Railway-ish. In fact, that's probably one big criticism I kind of have, like taking Flynn out of it and this, it doesn't really feel like it belongs in a Thomas & Friends wood range. And I'm not just saying it because, you know, it's made out a lot of plastic, but I'm talking about it just doesn't feel Thomasy. Like, it feels something more like from the Little People's range, which I believe Fisher-Price owns that too, if I'm not mistaken. It just doesn't have that Thomas classic feel to it, and it just feels sort of out of place. Am I glad I bought this? Yeah, I'm glad. I'm really happy that I got this, and I'm definitely going to use it in Maple Railway. Of course, I love the little file cargo bin, but overall, it's definitely an odd location. It has some good points, but also some stuff that makes it kind of not really something I would say, you must buy this immediately. In fact, really, this location, actually, I could have just made him slide because, yeah, that buffer catches him pretty well. In terms of getting the Firehouse set, it's pretty hard to really find it. Like, I'm sure if you went to like a Barnes & Noble or any store that sells the Thomas & Friends wood range, you'll have good luck finding it. But in terms of online, I had a hard time trying to find this location. I found no listings for like Walmart or Amazon, and again, much like with the Thomas Castlewood Tower set, it's a pretty hard location to find. But luckily, I was able to get this set for $30 from someone off eBay, and while I was missing like the track adapters and the ascending piece of track, I have plenty, so that's not a big deal. And really, I think $30 is fine for this. Like, I don't know the retail price. I think it may be close to $40 maybe in some places, but I say if you can find this for like $20 to $30, it's worth it. But that's entirely up to you, because I know that from my perspective on it, there's some faults that I do have that I think limits the playability and some odd choices for pieces. But other than that, I'm happy to still have this location just for collector's sake, and I could probably find some way to make it useful. I mean, the fact that I have now dubbed him Fireman Murphy is like, yeah, I'm gonna have to, wait, did I say Murray or Murphy? Murphy. His name is Murphy. Future me. This is Murphy. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. Let me know in the comment section below if you have the Firehouse set here, if you have in your collection, and what are your thoughts on it. Do you agree with some of the stuff that I have, like an engine not being able to go through the ascending pieces on both sides, or some of the weird additions? And if you own the 2013 edition of the Sodor Rescue set, let me know what you think of that destination as well. So thank you guys for watching this video. God bless you, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye!